Right.
Hi, Sukesh.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, yeah, welcome to the demo class on DevOps with the AWS.
Mm-hmm.
So I am the trainer coming to my program. So I have 12 years of IT experience and I got certifications from Kubernetes, that is Certified Kubernetes Application Developer, and I got certified from AWS, that is AWS Solution Architect Associate, and also I have certification from Azure, that is Azure DevOps Specialist. So this is about me, and this is the demo class, right? So the total course duration is 2.5 months. Okay, so we'll complete all the DevOps tools in around 45 to 50 class. Okay, and today we are going to discuss in our course duration. So what are the tools, DevOps tools we are going to cover? Okay, so we'll discuss about the course content, and I will have some brief introduction about the SDLC. Okay, so how we are using DevOps in the SDLC, and we'll have brief introduction about the cloud computing. Okay, so this is today's agenda. Now, coming to the course content, here we are going to cover the different DevOps tools like Git, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, and we'll discuss about the Terraform, then AWS. Okay. So there is a cloud platform, Amazon Web Services. So
So,
these are the yes,
so Terraform in the sense it's like infrastructure, right?
yes.
So how much content are we going to cover under infrastructure? So,
Yeah, so actually in the Amazon Web Services, so we are
mm-hmm,
going to create different services manually, right? So all these,
mm-hmm,
what are the services we are creating manually? So
mm-hmm.
we are going to use the Terraform to create the same services through the code.
Okay. So now so you are covering DevOps developer plus infrastructure? Or
Yes,
just
yes,
okay,
yes,
you're covering both
yes,
developer plus
yes,
infrastructure. Then
infrastructure.
you could
Yes.
okay. So because I have a doubt, I'm new to the DevOps, right? So which covers
Okay.
developer and which covers the infrastructure side,
Yeah,
I
both
need
we
the
are going
difference.
to cover. Both we are
Yeah, I
going to.
need the okay, I need the difference and what are developer things and what are infrastructure things. I need the difference to know about that.
Okay.
So
So
yeah, that's
here,
the
so before starting our course, we are going to
mm-hmm.
start with Linux.
Okay,
Okay, so
perfect.
Linux is the prerequisite. So
Okay,
most of the cases, we are going to work on the Linux platform only. For that reason, we start our course with the Linux.
okay.
And here we
So
have
Linux
around
is a shell scripting, right?
a shell scripting is one part of Linux. Okay. So here we are going to cover the basics. We don't need a complete Linux. We don't
Okay.
need complete Linux. So there is a different course, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we will cover only basics. So around 5 to 7 class.
Perfect.
Okay. So
Perfect.
basics means how can we create files, how to create the directories, how to get from the copy operation, like that basic things we'll discuss. Okay. So how to install the packages. Okay.
Sure.
Once the application is running, how to access the application through the web browser. So these things we'll discuss in the Linux along with the shell scripting. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So then once we did with Linux, then we are going to start with our DevOps tool. So
Mm-hmm.
you are from IT or non-IT?
I'm from IT.
Okay, so then so you have idea about SDLC, right?
Yeah, yeah, software development life cycle.
Yes. So here in any SDLC model will have different phases, right? So phases
Mm-hmm.
like the planning, development of the code, build and deploy. So what
Mm-hmm.
we are doing is, as a DevOps engineer, we are
Mm-hmm.
going to use these tools in the SDLC. Okay, at a
Mm-hmm.
different stages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you see now, so let us consider the Agile methodology. So I think you know very well about the Agile methodology,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So under Agile methodology, so as usual, like other SDLC models, we have plan. Okay, so before start of the project, our architects will develop the plan and we'll
Plan.
get the plan from our architects. And depending on the plan, we are going to get the
Develop.
code from our development team. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
here in the Agile methodology, what is happening is, so our development team is going to work on the sprint basis. So you know the
Yes.
sprint, right?
Yes.
So as the team is working on the sprint basis, at the end of every sprint, we will have a different, that is a new version of the, okay? So at sprint
Sorry.
one,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we will have version one. At the end of the sprint two.
Like PI. PI.
Yes, 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 yes. We
Yeah.
have version two, different PIs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here to maintain all these versions of the code, we are going to use version controls. Version controls.
Version.
So we are calling as a source code management tool, SCM. Okay. So here it is the version control.
Mm-hmm.
So why we are
I
using it? To
so
maintain
to
the
show the
different
source code.
versions of the code. Okay. So we'll have
Mm-hmm.
different versions at the different sprints, right? To maintain
Mm-hmm.
all these versions of the code, we are going to use the Git. So that is the purpose we are learning Git. Okay. So
Okay.
Git is a version control system. So by using the Git, we are going to maintain the different versions of the code from our development team. Okay, so here under Git, we are going to learn. So how can we create different branches? So you are aware, I think you know that. So we have different branches like master
Mm-hmm.
branch, feature branches, like that. Different branches
Yeah.
we have, right?
We
Our
have.
development team is going to work on different feature branches, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we create the feature branches? How to merge these branches? We face any merge conflicts, or how to resolve the merge conflicts. All these
Mm-hmm.
things we are going to learn with the.
Mm-hmm.
So the purpose of it is to maintain the code. So maintenance
Mm-hmm.
of the code is the major work of the DevOps people.
Yeah.
Okay. So and here we will have a different environments, right? So we'll have dev environment, QA environment, UAT. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to maintain a separate version control system for environment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at every environment will have a separate version control system. And if there is any issue with the version control system, we are the responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if the code, whatever the new code we got, right, if it is not reflecting at the build time, then we have to debug. So like that, things we are going with the now. So once we have code ready with the version control system, so we have to work onto the code. Okay? So once we have code ready, so in the next phase, once the code is available, okay. So once the code is available, we are going to build the. Okay. So we are getting the code from our development team, and we are maintaining the code in the option control systems. And once code is available, we have to build the code. That is the next phase in the SDLC model. Okay. So for to build the code, we are going to use CI/CD tools,
Mm-hmm.
different CI/CD tools like Jenkins. Jenkins one is one of the popular CI/CD tool. Okay, so with the help of the Jenkins, we are going to perform different operations like compilation of the. We are going to compile the code and we will validate the test cases, unit test cases,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and we'll do the quality checks, code quality checks. So if everything is fine, we are going to package that.
Yep.
Okay. So these are the different stages we have under build phase. Okay.
Yeah, so I have a question here.
Yes.
So how many, like, this is one of the tool of the CICD, right? Is there any
Yes.
other tools that we cover under this?
Yeah. No, we will cover only Jenkins. We have other tools also. So if you are familiar with Jenkins, you can work with TeamCity. We have TeamCity also, right?
Which one?
TeamCity, and most of the organizations are using TeamCity also. Okay. So Bamboo. These are the other CI/CD tools, but Jenkins is very popular. You are familiar with
Jenkins, I
Jenkins?
mean that I am familiar, I am a MuleSoft developer, so I used to deploy the code through Jenkins.
Okay.
So I used to build the pipelines, just not like creating your own pipeline and just run it and
Mm-hmm.
check the logs, how it's where if it fails, check the logs if it goes
Yes.
successful. So based
Yeah.
on cert, SCD, cert, production. So
Mm-hmm.
it's meant to be like that, right?
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
but I don't know that. So this is the front end that I work, but back end the DevOps developer do from the back end to work Jenkins. That's what I had to be.
Yeah. So Jenkins is actually this is rich in UI. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the operations we have to perform? We can easily do from the front end only. Okay. So uh, along with Jenkins, we are going to about Maven. So I think you know
I mean,
very
it's
well
a
about
package.
Maven, right?
It's a package.
Yeah, Maven is
A
a
Java package.
build automation tool. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
actually, what this Jenkins will do is Jenkins will trigger the Maven. Actually, the compilation,
Mm.
testing, and packaging, these things will be done by the Maven only.
Maven. Okay.
Okay, so if you remember, we had different commands with Maven, right? MVN compile, MVN test. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so MVN package. Okay. So these things. So under Jenkins, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss about how to create the different types of projects, like freestyle project. Okay, so we'll try to create Maven projects,
Mm-hmm.
and we will try to create pipeline projects. So again, with the pipeline, we can create the projects by using upstream and downstream jobs and scripted and declarative pipeline projects. All these things
Mm-hmm.
we'll see under maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So here, once everything is good here, okay. So compilation, testing, quality checks, everything is good. We are going to package the code. Under package, we are going to get the artifacts, right? So these artifacts, if we deploy, okay, so our project will come to live.
Like,
Our project will come to live. So here, while deploying the artifacts, actually we have two ways. Okay, so what are the artifacts we have? So we can directly deploy the artifacts. So this is one way, and you heard about the images.
no.
Okay, so another way is deploying the images. Okay, so if we are directly deploying the artifacts, so here what is going to happen is uh, what are the artifacts we have, right? So this artifact deployment depends on the environment configuration. Okay, so let us consider for our application to run seamlessly. So we need some Java 11. Okay, so we need
Mm-hmm.
some Java 11. So we have to maintain this Java 11 in our deployment service. Then only our code will run successfully. Okay, so otherwise code will not run like that. If we are directly deploying the artifacts, what is going to happen is, so what are the environment configuration required, right? We have to maintain the required environment configuration in every environment. Like we have every environment, and similarly we have QA and UAT. So in every environment, we have to maintain the required configuration. Okay, for our application to run seamlessly without any issues. If there is a change in the environment configuration, the same code, there is no guarantee that the same code will run successfully in all the environments. Okay? But if we deploy, instead of deploying the artifacts, we are going with deploying images. Okay, actually, what is the image is? So this image, we are going to get the image by using the Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, what is this Docker? Docker is a containerization. Okay, so Docker is a containerization tool. Okay, so here, with the help of the Docker, so whatever the artifacts we got right under the packaging. Okay, so these artifacts we are going to convert into images. Okay, we are going to convert into images, and if there is a change in the version of the code, the image version also going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if there is change in the version of the code, we'll get different artifacts, right? For every
Mm-hmm.
version of the code, we'll get a different version of the artifact. as we are converting this artifact into images, okay, if there is a change in the version of the code, the image version also going to be changed. Okay, so by using this Docker, we are going to get the images. Okay, so what is this image is? Image is nothing but the combination of application code. Okay, we are going to embed the application code and required binaries, libraries. Okay, so whatever the dependencies we need for our application to run seamlessly. Image is a single package where we are going to embed all these things. Okay, so we are going to use a Docker to create the image. Okay, so we have to write the Docker file. If we build the Docker file, image we are going to get the images. Okay, from the images we are going to create the containers. Okay, so here what is the advantage with the images? So if you see here, so what are the prerequisite we have for our application to run seamlessly? That is, we need Java 11 for our application. Okay, so this Java 11 we are going to embed in the images. Okay, then no need to bother about the environment configuration, whether we have Java 11 environment or not. So our image will be embedded in the Java 11 and our application will run seamlessly without any issues. Okay, so like that we have many advantages with the image deployment. Okay, so that is the reason why we are learning the Docker. The Docker is a containerization tool. Okay, so here before the containers we have virtual machines, and we have some drawbacks with the virtual machines. So why we are going with the containers is we have some drawbacks with the virtual machines, like if the number of PMs increases, the performance of our physical machine decreases. So like that I will discuss. Okay, so what are the differences between containers and VMs in the coming session. Okay, so containers are nothing but the inside the containers application will be run. Okay, so this is like a replacement for the virtual machines. Okay, so inside the containers application will be up and running. But how we are getting these containers? So to get the containers we need images. Okay, from the images only we are going to create the containers. Once we have containers, inside the containers our application will be up and running. Okay, so we'll discuss how can we deploy different applications by using the Docker. Okay, then we have Kubernetes. So this Kubernetes is container orchestration tool. Okay, so Kubernetes is a container orchestration tool. So if we have many containers, some hundreds of containers, okay, to maintain all these containers and to achieve high availability for our application, we are going to use container orchestration tools. Okay, so we have different container orchestration tools. We have like Docker Swarm and Mesos. Okay, so like that we have different container orchestration tools, but Kubernetes is one of the popular container orchestration tools. Okay, so we'll discuss about the Kubernetes here. We will discuss about the different objects, like how to create the pods. Okay, so and how to create the replication controllers, how to create replica sets, how to create daemon set. Okay, so how to create a deployment, and we'll discuss about the persistent volumes, and how to create a persistent volume climb. Okay, so like that we have different concepts here. So we'll discuss all these things under Kubernetes. Okay, so for this Kubernetes to work, we need one of the container runtime like Docker. because this Kubernetes again it is going to create the containers, but Kubernetes cannot create the containers directly. Okay, it will take the help of one of the container runtime like Docker. Okay, so that is the reason why we are learning Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, and with the Kubernetes we have some other advantages also, like if we are facing any issues with the new version of the code in the production, you want to roll back to the previous stable versions, so no need to bother. We can easily roll back to the previous stable versions. So like that, we have many advantages with the Kubernetes. So we'll discuss all these things in the coming session. Okay. And you have idea about Ansible?
No.
Okay, so this Ansible is configuration management tool. So this is the configuration management tool. So to automate the repeated actions, to automate the repeated
Mhm.
activities, we are going to use Ansible. So let us consider. So we have around 1,000 servers. So on all our 1,000 servers, if you want to do any patching activity, so if we are doing manually, let us consider it taking 30 minutes per server. Okay. So I want to upgrade my Java. Okay. So it is taking 30 minutes per server if we do manual operation. Now, instead of doing this manually, so if I use Ansible, okay, so there will be one controller. There will be one controller. So what this controller will do is it will connect to all the 1,000 servers through SSH. Okay, through SSH, our controller will connect to all 1,000 servers. Okay, and it will simply run one script to do the patching activity. Okay, so if that is the case, within 30 minutes, we are going to complete the patching in all the 1,000 servers, okay, through the Ansible. But if we are doing manually, so if it is taking 30 minutes per server, so for 1,000 servers, how much time you have to spend? So for 1,000 servers, I had to spend around
Right.
500 hours manually. 500 hours for 1,000 servers. You see? So, but if we are going with Ansible controller, simply in 30 minutes, our controller will run the script, okay, on all the 1,000 servers, and will complete the patching on all the 1,000 servers in 30 minutes. So like that, we have many advantages with the Ansible. Okay, so means if we are trying to do any repeated operations on the remote servers. Okay, if we are trying to do any repeated operations on the remote servers, then we'll use Ansible. Okay, so let us consider I want to start my application every day on 10 a.m. So like that operations I want to perform, what I can do is simply I am going to write some script. Okay. So and I am going to implement the cron jobs. Okay, so the cron job is going to start our application on every day 10 a.m. like that. Like that operations we can perform through the Ansible. Okay, so Ansible is a configuration management tool. So we'll discuss about the Ansible, and here we are going to discuss about the different Ansible modules. Okay, and playbooks, roles, all these things we'll discuss. Okay. Then we have Terraform. So we are going to start Amazon Web Services after Ansible, because there is a dependency between Terraform and AWS. Without knowing AWS, we cannot work on the Terraform. Okay, so we'll try to create different services from AWS, like EC2 instances. Okay, so EBS volumes and S3 buckets and elastic load balancer VPC, and so IAM and CloudWatch and SNS. So like that, we have different services. All these services we will try to create manually, okay, through the Amazon Web Services. And once we are familiar with manual creation, okay, once we are familiar to work with these services, then we are going to start with the Terraform. Okay, so here
Mhm.
the Terraform. What is the Terraform? Terraform is an infrastructure as a code. In the Amazon Web Services, we are trying to create this infrastructure, okay, manually. Okay, we'll try to create the EC2 instances manually. We'll create the EBS volumes manually. So all these things we'll do manually. But the same services, okay, the same services we'll try to create through the code. Okay, we are going to write some script, and if we execute that script, so we are going to create all these services. Okay, so once we done with the Amazon Web Services, then we'll start with the Terraform. Okay. So this is the plan in our course duration. So any doubts up to now?
No, fine.
And you have idea about Linux?
I have a little bit, yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, Linux basics is sufficient. Okay, now we don't need a complete Linux because while working with these tools, right, most of the cases we use some of the Linux commands. That is the reason why we need some basics
Mhm.
on the Linux. Okay,
Okay.
so and also so we will at the end of the every tool we have different tools, right? At the end of the
Mhm.
every tool, I will provide assignments. Okay, for
Yeah.
Git, Jenkins, Docker, like that. At the end of every tool, I will provide the assignment, and you will get more clarity once you complete the assignments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, is there any online platforms that where we can practice like?
Yes, actually, what we are doing is, so we are going to create account in Amazon Web Services. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we create
Mm-hmm.
account in Amazon Web Services. So this is free for 1 year. So no need to pay
Okay.
anything. Okay, so
Okay.
1 year. Okay, so it is a free. No need to pay anything. And so I'll
Mm,
discuss when we create our AWS account, and
mm,
we are not going to install any packages in our local machine. We will once our AWS account is created, we'll try to create the virtual machine. Okay, so we sit here, EC2 instances.
okay. Directly in the virtual machine, we
Yeah,
create
yeah.
a.
In the virtual machines, EC2 is nothing but the virtual machines. Okay?
Mm,
Cloud servers. So we will create the cloud servers. On top of the cloud servers only, we
we
are
can
going to do
practice.
the practice for everything from Linux onwards.
Mm,
From Linux onwards.
I got your point because it bites a lot of memory in the system if you install locally. I mean that if you
Yes,
want to do locally, right?
yes, yes.
Got you.
So here, uh, while working with AWS, again we have some free tile limits. Means for one account we can create up to three servers on three virtual machines. Okay, up to three virtual machines, so we can work. If we have more than three virtual machines, then we have to pay. Some limitations are there,
Okay.
but what are the free tile we have it? So that is sufficient for us.
So,
So
but we create only one virtual machine, right?
yeah, so most of the cases, one virtual machine is sufficient. But if we are working with a Docker, under Docker, we are going to work with a Docker Swarm. Under Docker Swarm, we need cluster,
Mm-hmm.
one master, different worker nodes. Similarly, with the Kubernetes, we are going to create some cluster. Okay? One manager node, three, four worker nodes. At that situation, one instance is one EC2 instance is not sufficient. And also with while working with Ansible also, so we will
So
have
we'll
one
create,
controller mission, different remotes server.
yeah, I can create multiple AWS
Yes,
accounts, right, with two different, three different emails.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
the maximum limit is only three servers we can.
Per three per account.
Yes, per account. So if we can create more than three, but it is chargeable. If we increase the
Yeah.
number of services, we have to pay
How
the
much they charge yearly or monthly? Like,
monthly. We have to pay.
mm,
But again, we have different families here. So we have T2 micro and T3 family is there, T4 family. Like the different instances are there. So depending on the type of the instance, we have to pay the amount. Okay.
mm,
So if it is a T2 micro, it is like a free tier eligible. So we are, if we exceed more than three servers, we have to pay very less amount. But other
mm,
than T2 micro, so if we create any other server, then we are going to get more charges. So we'll
mm.
discuss about this of retailing and all these things in the coming sessions.
Yep. So daily we'll have it the same time, or is it 6 o'clock? I mean, 6 o'clock IST.
So 6 a.m. IST. Uh,
Yeah, I mean that today it's 7 a.m. IST, you did, right? Yeah, so that's
yes,
why I'm
yes.
asking.
So we'll discuss about that time. We will inform you. Okay. Mostly it is
Yeah.
6 a.m. IST or 7 a.m. IST. So only these two times we'll have.
Okay, 6 a.m. should be perfect for me because
Which
I
one?
live in EST. I live in EST time zone.
Okay, EST. Which time will work for you?
For you, if it is 6 a.m., for me it will be like 8:30.
Okay, okay, then no issue.
Yeah,
We'll have.
that will work for me. If 7 is like 9:30 and I have
Mm-hmm.
class, so it's a bedtime, right? So we'll sometimes we can't pay that much attention.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, no issues.
Even if it is early, also it's fine possible for me.
Early
Little
means
early.
earlier
I
than
mean
6 a.m.
that
is not
depends,
possible.
but it depends on your timing. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 a.m. We can finalize. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. Okay. We'll
Yeah.
discuss in the comments.
Mm,
Thank you.
yeah. Oh, so
Yes.
uh, yeah. Invoice you can share it to me so I can pay. So how should I need to pay for that?
So our team will contact you. Okay. Regarding
Okay.
that, team will contact.
Okay. Thank you. So is it only one person or is it others will join together?
Some of the persons are following only recording. They're not
Okay.
able to.
Okay. Okay. Then if I'm not available, I can the class will go ahead on that day, so I can
It
record it, right?
depends. It depends.
Oh, okay.
So I will provide
Fine.
recording if you miss any classes.
I mean that's what I'm asking. If I for suppose I'm not available on like one day or Thursday or Friday,
Yeah,
so I can
so if
follow
the
class
class
on.
not required, inform before one day. So we'll cancel that class.
Okay, not required in the sense
What?
I didn't got you. Is the class
No,
required
no.
or
So if you are not able to join the class,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
so then inform before one day.
Okay,
Then we will cancel the class.
okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. You can.